Hello, and today we're going to be doing an upper body resistance band workout. I'm going to be going over 5 exercises that cover the majority of the muscles in your upper body. So we're going to be covering chest, back, some arms, and some shoulders in those 5 exercises. So all you're going to need today is a resistance band and somewhere to attach it to. So I'm going to go through the exercises. Let me know if you have any questions as we go, or let me know in the comments. If that sounds good to you, then go ahead and hit like on this video. So what we're going to start with is working the muscles in the chest. So this is primarily in the chest, but we will hit some of that front shoulder and the back of the arm too. So this is going to be a chest press exercise. So I'm going to attach the band right at chest level. And what that's going to do is make it so it pulls straight back for a nice even force across the chest. Now, I grab a lighter band. We're going to warm up. I'm going to walk you through all 5 exercises, doing a warm up using those exercises so you can get used to doing the movement. So this is going to be a chest press. What I want to do is walk forward until my hands are right at chest level. So both up and down and forward and back. So I want my hands all the way back at my chest, because that's going to really open up that chest. Now you can see I'm pushing forward with the chest. So my hands come all the way back where my elbows are behind my rib cage. And that's going to really get that tricep and chest muscle into a deep stretch. Now that deep stretch is what really builds that muscle up. From here, I'm going to push forward, straightening my elbows, trying to keep that chest up though. I'm not collapsing down. Chest up, pushing out towards the front, and then back. All the way back to my chest. So really bend those elbows. You can actually pinch the shoulder blades together as you go back, and they'll help do 2 things. It will get your elbows back and also open up that chest. So really keep those shoulder blades pinched together as you come back. We're going to do about 10 of these as a warm up for the chest. So this shouldn't feel difficult yet. It should just feel the muscle contracting and relaxing, but it shouldn't really burn yet because this is just the warm up. We're just getting a little bit of blood flow into the muscle and getting used to the movement. And this is going to be our chest press exercise. So now what we're going to do is move to the upper back. We just worked the pushing muscles. Now we're going to work the pulling muscles in the back. So still with the band at the same anchor height, we can just go straight into the next exercise, which is nice. From here, you're going to bring your hands all the way out in front of you. So I'm letting my shoulders pull forward. This is our starting position. My hands are kind of angled up in a 45-degree angle. So my thumbs, you can think about your thumbs pointed towards your nose. And from here, you're going to pull back to your rib cage, bending those elbows. Think about trying to hit something behind you with your elbow. So pulling back, that really bends those elbows, gets those hands to the rib cage. So we're working that bicep in your upper arm a little bit, but mostly all these muscles in the back of your shoulder, in the shoulder blade, into the lats in the upper back. So pulling back to that rib cage. Doing about 10 of these. Getting used to the movement, getting warmed up. So really bending that elbow. The more you bend that elbow, the more that bicep can engage. So as you bend the elbow, the bicep is the thing pulling it into that position. And relax. So that was our second exercise. So with those 2, we cover a lot of the pushing and pulling muscles. Now we're going to focus in to a more isolation exercise for the bicep and triceps. So Biceps are in the front, triceps are in the back of the arm. So we're gonna start out with these triceps back in the back. So for this, I would grab a little bit lighter band for the warm up. I'm gonna go one stage down. And on this one, I'm going to just be right at between eyes and chin level. You can play around with it. I find it's a little bit more comfortable, sort of right at chin and throat level. And from here, I'm gonna bring my hands right past my ears. So this is going to be what's called a skull crusher exercise. Now, for this, I want my hands back behind my ears, my elbows tucked in. My elbows are wide, my chest is getting some of the work. If I really want to focus in on my triceps, it's tuck those elbows in, narrow together. So not out, but in. And from here, so this is our starting position. We're going to straighten your elbow out to the front, pushing out forward. Now, my palms are facing out away from me, pushing out towards the front, and my elbows are higher than my shoulders. I don't want my elbows down here, pushing like this. I want my elbows up at above my shoulder level. So you can see they're sort of between my shoulders and my throat. Feel that in the back of your arm as you do this. Doing about 10 of these. This is called a skull crusher exercise. It's a great tricep builder. Especially, so there's a lot of different variations of tricep exercise. You actually have 3 pieces of the tricep, and this one hits the largest piece of that tricep the most. So if you really want to build that tricep strength and size in that what's called the long head of the tricep that goes all the way along here, then you want to do this exercise where your elbows are up, and that's what's going to more effectively target that muscle. There's nothing wrong with doing things like tricep kickbacks and tricep extensions down here, but it only gets 2 out of the 3 really effectively, as opposed to all 3. So that's why we're doing this one. I just find it's a more efficient use of time for that tricep muscle. Now we just did the tricep. Now we're going to do the bicep, which is in the front. So I'm going to attach this about my waist height, step away from the band till it's pulling me back. So same thing as with the chest press. I'm stepping away to where the band is pulling me back. I want tension in the band back here. From here, chest stays up. I'm gonna bend my elbows, pulling up to the front. Now, if you feel like you're not really getting tension against you can always drop the band a little bit lower, because you want tension down here in this part of the movement. So I want my band to be as parallel to the ground as possible. I don't want it angling down. I want it to be straight out from where my hands are. So the longer your arms are, the lower you need to put the band. If you're, so longer your arms, the lower the band, because you want it to be straight out from here. So as you pull, you should feel that in your bicep, right in the front of your arm. Now I found that this is a much more effective variation of the curl. It takes a little bit more setup, but I found this really hits the bicep much more, because in my lengthened position, where the bicep is most building, or where that's the most muscle building for the bicep, I have the most tension pulling me back. Doing about 10 of these, getting blood flow into the muscle. I find, as opposed to doing it like this, where I'm right in the middle of the band, this, I don't have nearly as much tension in this bottom part, as opposed to when I do it with a pull. I have much better tension, and that leads to a better muscle building exercise. You're creating more of that force where the muscle really needs it. All right, now I'm shifting to a smaller band for the last exercise. This last one is for the deltoid muscle that runs right across the top of the shoulder. This is going to be a lateral raise. So what you're going to do is step right in the middle of the band, cross your hands, so the band forms an X right in front of you, and bring your palms facing towards your leg. From here, staying straight and tall, you're going to lift up to the sides and then back down. You should feel that band pulling you back down towards the middle. Now, if you feel like it's uncomfortable to go past your shoulder, only go to about here. If you can go higher, that's totally fine as long as it doesn't hurt your shoulder. I tend to go about here, and that feels comfortable on my shoulders. But if you can't go all the way up past there, don't worry, just go this high and then come back down. That's totally fine. The higher you go, the more you get some of that trap, which is the muscle up here in your neck. Going for about 10 of these, getting blood flow into the muscle. And relax. So that was our warm-up, going through all 5 exercises we're doing today. If you like these sort of workouts and want to see more, I host these live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. So hit subscribe to be here for that. So now we're going to go into a heavier weight. We just did a warm-up weight. Now we're going to go for a heavier weight so we feel that tension in the muscle. So I'm going to shift to actually double bands. If you find one band is not enough, you can always add 2. And we're going to go into sets of upper body, doing chest press and rows, which are the first 2 exercises we did in the warm-up. So I like to do one after the other because it's more time efficient. We can get a better workout done in less time. So, right chest height. This is the first of our 2 exercises for what's called the superset, where we go from one to the next, where we alternate between complementary movements. So chest up, stepping forward, really pinching my shoulder blades together, and then pressing out towards the front. I should feel this right across my chest. Pushing out and then back. Now, the exact rep number is not as important. You want to go into where you feel tired doing the movement. Now, if you're getting to where you're doing tons of reps, try going for a heavier band. If you're doing 20, 30 reps, try a heavier band, because then we'll actually be able to challenge the nerves more, build that strength a bit more. But anything around 10 reps is fine. I'm trying to keep my chest up, pinch shoulder blades, pushing out towards the front. One more. And now switching to a row exercise. So I'm going to keep the band right at the same height, facing towards the band, letting it pull my shoulders all the way forward. From here, I'm going to pull back to my rib cage, trying to bend my elbow, pull into the back, all the way out forward, and then all the way back. Going for about 10 of these. get a little more than 10, that is okay. Now you want to stand far enough away where you feel tension all the way through the movement. If you feel like it goes slack out here, try and step a little bit further away. One more. And relax. So that was our first set of the chest press and row. So now we're gonna go into our second set. We're gonna try for 4 sets of these, just one after the other. While one side is recovering, the other side is working, and vice versa. So we're gonna go straight into set number 2 of chest press. So stepping forward, still keeping good form. We want to have good technique. You can have the band over the top of your arms if that's more comfortable. I personally like to have it underneath my arms. So I'm just flipping the band. Some people, it's a little easier one way or the other. From here, pushing your chest out, pinch the shoulder blades together. Hands wide. No, I want to keep my hands at elbow width. I don't want them to tuck into my chest, but I do want them at chest level. So I want them all the way back to where they're right in line with my chest. From here, pushing out towards the front. Now, if you want to, feel like you're getting pulled back, you can put one foot stepped out towards the front. That's totally fine. Now, something to be careful of is don't lean forward into the movement. You're pushing your chest out, standing straight and tall. If you lean forward, you're actually pulling more on the band from using your body weight. We want to push forward with our hands, using the muscle instead of the body weight. Keeping those hands wide. That keeps tension on the muscle the whole time. One more. And relax. And going straight into a row. This is set number 2 of rows. While our chest is recovering, we're working the muscles in the upper back. Doing a row. Pulling back to the rib cage, bending that elbow. You can pinch your shoulder blades together as you come back. Pull into the back, feeling that all the way through your upper back. And relax. Excuse me a moment. All right, so we're going into set 3 of chest. So we're really cranking through these because we want to make it a time efficient workout. We don't want to take all day doing this, so we can get more out of this doing a superset, going one to the next. If you're feeling tired or it's too much, don't feel like you have to push yourself into set 3 and 4, especially if you're just starting out doing a home workout. Then try 2 sets and see how you feel tomorrow. That is okay. If you're able to, I'd try, then keep on going. If you feel tired though, just join us on the next exercise. From here, chest up. You can have one foot out towards the front, staying straight and tall, pushing out, and then bending the elbows, coming back. Working the chest, working the triceps, and the front of the shoulder. Trying for about 10 of these. Three more. Loosen that chest up, pinch the shoulder blades as you come back, and relax. And now going straight into rows. Hands out in front of you, pulling to the back. Pinch those shoulder blades together, pull to your rib cage, and then back. This is working the entire upper back, all those shoulder muscles around the shoulder blade up into your neck. They're called the retractors of the shoulder blade. Excuse me. Two more. Last one. And finish strong all the way back. And relax. Now, something I want to make sure of is you always want to complete the movement all the way back. Don't just let it drop, because then we're missing that half rep at the end. So we don't want to do 9.5 or 10.5. We want to do a solid set of reps. So finish out that half rep, let tension off the band. So now that covers a lot of the major muscles of the upper body. Doing that chest, the back, some of the arm, a little bit of the shoulder, a little bit of the front and back of the shoulder. But now we're gonna spend a little more time really honing in on the arm. I know for me, I like to have a little bit more extra on the arm because it recovers much faster, can take that amount of work. And I want to have a little bit stronger arms, a little bit bigger arms. So we're going to go straight into the tricep and get a little bit more out of that tricep today. So we're doing skull crushers. So hands, the band should be right about throat level. Between chin and throat is fine. From here, hands by your ears, elbows tucked in, pushing out towards the front. Trying for about 10 of these. Now there should be tension all the way back to back here. You shouldn't go slack as you do this. So if you need to, you can step a little bit further away to make sure that there's tension all the way through that movement. That's what's going to get you that tricep building of going backwards behind the ears. Now it's called the skull crusher because it goes right by your head. That's one of the reasons I like these bands, is because you don't have this big dumbbell right by your head. Especially as you get tired, it's easy to accidentally nick yourself in the skull, and that is not a fun thing at all. Three more. Two more. Last one. Finish strong, and relax. And you can go ahead and drop the band down to about waist level, maybe a little below, depending on how long your arms are. And then palms facing up, step forward till you feel that tension pulling you back. And from here, chest up, pulling forward, feeling that in your bicep. Feel that right in here in the inside of your elbow. I've heard this called a couple different names, but the most recent I've heard is called a pelican curl, or a resistance band pelican curl. The important part is to go back, so chest up, arms back towards the back. Really feel that tension pulling on your bicep. And you don't want to go down forward. Don't lean forward. Try and stand straight and tall. Oh man, feel that burning in your bicep. And last one. And relax. So we're gonna try for, let's see, did we do 3? So we're gonna try for at least 3 sets of these as well. I'm losing, lost track. Did we do 4 sets? I think we did 4 sets. Going here, pulling in with your elbows, going straight into triceps. This is set number 2. Pull it, pushing out toward the front, keep your elbows tucked in, hands back behind your ears. The further back your hands go, the more benefit this is to the triceps. 2 more. 1 more, and you might feel like it's starting to shake as you do this. That's good. That means you're hitting that limit of how much the muscle can do. Now going down into a pelican curl. So low with the band, stepping forward till it's pulling you back. You feel that tension on your bicep pulling you back, and then you're gonna pull forward into this movement. So pulling up with the bicep. Try not lean forward as you do this. So staying straight and tall. I'm really trying to bring my hands down and back as I go back. So don't just drop it where your our elbows are still bent. You really want to straighten your elbows as you go back. Whew. 2 more, 2 more. Last one, last one. Oh, and relax. Now, the great thing about doing it like this with the superset, might feel more tiring, but it also is a much more time efficient way of getting through the same exercises without taking hardly any time in between. So we go right from one exercise to the next. So doing a tricep, elbows tucked in, doing a skull crusher, pushing out towards the front, and then back. If you need to, you can always take a break, sit out a set. That is okay. But if you can, especially if you're pressed for time, going one exercise to the next is much more time efficient. We can get a workout in doing all the exercises we need much faster. Three more. 2 more. Last one. And relax. So that was set number 3. We're trying between 3 and 4 sets today. So if you can, stick with us through the full 4 sets. So pull in here, letting it pull you all the way back. Staying straight and tall, pulling up to the front, and then straightening the elbows out to the back. To adjust the band just a little bit. So pulling up and then back. Feeling that in your bicep and that upper arm in the front, all the way to the inside of the elbow. I find it does not take a very heavy weight to get a great bicep burn. You can really feel that muscle working all the way from the front of the shoulder down into the inside of the elbow. Two more. Last one. And relax. So that was set number 3. Give me a moment to grab a sip of water. So we're going to finish up with our 4th set, final set of doing tricep, bicep. So working these muscles in the upper arm. So band at about throat level. Palms facing out. Elbows tucked in. Finish strong. Especially on this last set, it's very easy for the elbows to drift out. Keep those elbows in. And that's what's going to really emphasize that tricep. So pushing out to the front, back to your ears, and then repeat. Now the reason we do multiple sets is because it lets us get more out of every workout. You will get stronger, you will build muscle in one set, but you potentially, or your potential for muscle growth is much higher the more sets you do. And if you do one set, you will probably get stronger, but it's will happen more slowly typically than if you had done multiple sets in a single workout. Keep those elbows up, almost done. 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. Last one, finish strong. And relax. By the 4th set, we're getting everything we can out of that tricep muscle. Here, going low, we're finishing up with our last set of bicep. Let me know in the comments if you've ever seen this bicep exercise before. So pulling back, you should feel that tension pulling back on that inside of your arm. Whoop. I'm definitely getting tired. It's normal though, for this point in the workout, you should feel a little bit tired. It should be working pretty hard. So pulling back and bring your hands up to the front, really bending that elbow, all from the elbow joint. So keep that chest up, arms go back, feel that tension in your bicep. If you need to, you can step a little further away to increase that tension, especially at that end of the movement when you're all the way down here. Trying to keep my chest up as I do this, to really let that bicep lengthen into that position. So the bicep actually attaches up at the shoulder, and so if I'm lengthening it by keeping my chest up. I'm lengthening it at 2 sides so I can really work that bicep. Two more. One more. Last one, up and back. You should really feel that muscle burning by the end there. So that was working the muscles in the upper arm using the resistance band. So now we're going to move into working the shoulders. And for this, I'm going to shift to a lighter band. It's a smaller set of muscles. So I'd recommend grabbing a little bit lighter band. It's very easy to overload this movement. And let me show you real quick what I mean by that. So for this, if the band or the weight is too heavy, the resistance from the band is too heavy, what commonly happens is people try and lift and they can't. They feel the muscle is not able to do that. So they do sort of a throwing motion, or they go like this and really use their neck. And we don't want that. So you want to go light enough where you can stand straight and tall, and with control, you want to lift up to the sides and then back down where you're feeling it really contract in that deltoid. Otherwise, we're building up the traps and we're not really hitting this deltoid as effectively as we could. So you might have a big neck but small shoulders. And a lot of people go too heavy on this one to start. I'd rather you go too light and then say, I can do this with a heavier band. So start a little lighter than you would expect and try and get the form right where you're not lifting from your neck. You're lifting from the top of that shoulder. Going up and then down. Because it does not actually take that much weight to get a great workout in the shoulder and that deltoid muscle. So I'm pointing my thumbs straight to the front, lifting up to the sides, trying to keep them even between the two. Need to not watch myself in the monitor, because that messes me up because it's a mirror image. So I always think one side's higher than the other. 2 more. Only going as high as is comfortable for your shoulder. The great thing is, with the bands, the most effective part of the movement is down here where the muscle is most lengthened. And the bands are unique because they provide tension all the way through. With a dumbbell, it only starts giving you tension or giving you resistance right here. The band is the full movement. So take a moment, let that muscle relax, grab a sip of water, and we're gonna go for another set of that exercise. So I like ending with these, really emphasizing that deltoid muscle. So with the chest press, we work the front of the deltoid. The rows, we work the back of the deltoid. And these hit that middle deltoid especially. They work all 3 parts of it, but especially that middle. So a lot of people want that ball of muscle around your shoulder. For aesthetics, it's great for aesthetics. It's also very good for keeping your shoulder healthy. So we want your shoulder to be able to lift and move around in all different directions. And the deltoid muscle being strong helps with that. So stepping right in the middle of the band, crossing your hands in front. We're gonna go for another 10 of these. So staying straight and tall, lifting up to the sides, and then slowly back down, all the way down to your leg. And think about this as making a T shape with your upper body. 2 more. Last one. And relax. And taking a moment, we're gonna do one more set of those. So we'll end with, actually we'll do 2 more sets. We'll do 2 more sets of that to really round out the shoulders. Get everything we can out of that deltoid muscle. You might be able to feel it if you feel your shoulder here. You might feel a little bit bigger in your shoulders temporarily, all that blood flow into that muscle. And the more you do this exercise, so if you do it multiple times in a week, the more that becomes the norm of that size of muscle. Right now it's because of blood flow into the muscle, and then what follows that is the muscle mass increases. So right now we're pulling blood in, we're pulling nutrients in, where the muscle is sending signals to your brain and your body saying that it needs more resources, it needs more sugars, more proteins in that muscle. So this is set number 3 of the lateral raise. Palm is facing your body, standing straight and tall, lifting up to the sides into a T position, keeping your thumbs pointed to the front. Two more. Last one, and relax. Oh, that burns. That's good though. If it burns, if you feel tension, that's your body is, that's how your body is going to be signaled that that muscle needs to grow. Whew. Almost done. Got one more exercise set to do, and then we'll call it a day. So if you like these sort of workouts and want to see more, I host these live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be here when we are live. So last set. So crossing the hands in front, that's the thing I think really makes all the difference, is that cross to get the band to pull diagonally. So starting your hands right at your thigh, staying straight and tall, last set of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you need to stop before 10, that's okay. 9, and last one, 10. Oh man, that last one really took it out of me. The muscle gave everything it had left. So if you ever feel like you can't lift up that weight again, it's okay, you can stop there. That's a good sign that you hit what's called muscle failure, where you can't lift it up again. And that's where the muscle is growing, is around that muscle failure point. So thank you for being here. Hope to see you guys next time. Host these live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you guys there.